Good morning, my friends. How are we doing on this Monday, January 20th, 2025? Today is it's a little holiday in the country where I'm at. It's Martin Luther King Day, so it's kind of a holiday. Most of the banks and a lot of places are closed today, automotive plants and banks and schools, but most of everything is still open and going. It's like a smaller percentage. I think as time goes on, certain holidays mean less and less to most companies and things. Today, interesting day in the markets. I was last week I told myself, I said, okay, well, you got the inauguration coming up, which is, it's basically the official start of a new president in this country. So today they have that going on. But as me, I'm looking in the markets and thinking, okay, so they're just going to use this for an excuse to do this or that, and we're not going to be really taking any positions until this dust settles. And I said if I wasn't already in a position, I wasn't going to open one today. Which right now, that's the case. But I saw something hilarious this morning on Aussie dollar. Yes, Aussie dollar. Okay. Now, full disclosure, this is one that we are in. Okay. And we have been in this for some time. We've been, well, you can kind of see a lot of our orders here that we were getting filled in on. And come over here to today. Look at this giant green candle pushing up. I mean, we were trading at sub 62 cents for a couple weeks. We were under 62 cents. And it would go up, touch 62, come back down. Go up, touch 62, come back down. And today, during the inauguration, for whatever reason, like I said, price can just do whatever it wants to. A lot of banks are closed today. A lot of brokerage accounts are inaccessible today because of the holiday. And when you can't get to your accounts, that's when big moves tend to happen. And I think about that too. Last night also, what was it? Last night, some friends of mine, they had made some pretty good trades on another asset, and it had made a great move overnight last night. Well, how come there's always these big moves happening when America's asleep? That tends to happen a lot. But this big move right here, I'm getting off subject. Aussie dollar. I'm a contrarian trader, okay? That's what I found suits me. And why the big jump during this inauguration? Why this big jump? How is this making sense? Okay. You would think that, okay, this Forex pair, to put it simply, this is the Australian dollar price compared to the US dollar price, okay? So an Australian dollar before the inauguration, it was only getting you 61 cents of American dollars. So now, all of a sudden, a new president is elected officially. It's official. He's starting his term today. And all of a sudden now, your Australian dollar gets you 62.5 cents American dollars. Well, how does that make sense? How does that make sense to where you had a new president who just started his term a couple hours ago, and already, compared to Australia, his dollar is worth less than the Australian dollar now. You know, on a very small scale, mind you, but the principle is there, the same. That is opposite of what you would think, isn't it? Isn't that opposite? That completely makes no sense. You would think that with a new president, that your dollar, your American dollar, would be stronger the moment he starts his term. No, it has nothing to do with that. That's why I'm a contrarian, because this point right here this morning proves how everything that society is showing you is not going to work in the marketplace, because the marketplace is it's all about the traders in the marketplace. And there was enough money put down betting on the strength of the dollar to rise exponentially this morning. So in other words, there was enough money betting on the Australian dollar to go down in value compared to the US dollar, because the US dollar was going to get stronger this morning from a new president starting his term. But what happened? The opposite happened, so that they can take that money, okay? So they can take the people that were longing the dollar, okay? You're taking their money right here. So it's just kind of a telltale sign of what's in store to me for this presidential term. It's just going to be a opposite effect. Okay? Whatever you think is going to go up, it's going to go down. You just have to flip your thinking to be in the marketplace. So I thought it was very hilarious here. And actually, I would say over half of the positions are in a profit now on this swing trade I have here on Aussie dollar. So this is an interesting morning. Not that we're trading anything this morning. Like I said, the only things we're in is what we're already been in from the past couple weeks here. But I would love to take a look at dollar yen to see how the yen is doing this morning relative to the dollar. Look at that. The opposite. Do you see what happened? If you're not familiar with how the Forex market works, we were first looking at the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay? Australian dollar went up in value. Okay? Now on this chart, it's the US dollar being first versus the Japanese yen. And look what the US dollar did versus the yen. It went down in value. It went down in value. So your dollar earlier today, it bought you 156 yen. Now, new president gets elected, it only buys you 155 in yen. How does that make sense? You have this supposed great news of a fresh start, new president, Okay, we're going to start 4 years of some different kind of policy. None of that matters. I've talked about this on my personal channel too, about my personal experiences being an American and how I've lived to see through several presidencies, and I've been able to see what really is the difference between all of them. And the more I watch the markets, the more it backs up my personal bias that there is no difference between them. They're all the same. They all gonna keep doing the same thing. It's obvious that they're not making any changes of note in these marketplaces. They still behave the same. So it's nothing big and giant. It's no huge moves. These are just minor moves, have you? But, you know, this morning definitely would have wrecked and rocked a lot of a small time frame traders, aka people that scalp on the 1 minute and 5 minute. But us being the gorgeous swing traders that we are destined to be, we're looking quite nice in some of our positions. Interesting to see what some of the market did. Let's look at our classic boy here, Tesla. Okay. So it took a little bit dip down, but we have been at a very high here of 440. So nothing really going on with Tesla today in particular. Still on the high end. Should clean that up there. Tesla was a thing of beauty. I've kept scribbles on here from the past year, and it's funny to see how a lot of things have played out. It did make another high. That's gorgeous. A year later. So, just some interesting tidbits, you know, on that. It's kind of weird how the market can play around like that and do the opposite effect. But my general swing idea for Aussie dollar is still in play. You know, there's no reason for me to do anything with the current position I'm in right now. You know, I have it below the range. My average entry is below the range. At this point, it's nothing but a simple dollar cost average until we get back above the range, and then we can offload. And not even at a greedy point, might have you. Honestly, my entire position would probably be exited at 65.5 cents, 66, you know. I mean, if we tap 66, I'm out. It's all out, you know. I have an alert set for 65 cents, so when we get up to 65, if we do, all of my all stops will be moved up to 64.5, 64.7. You know, they'll all get moved up. And then we just let the rest ride or stop us out in a nice profit. So it's a few more weeks here and we'll see how this swing trade turns out. But right now, as of the moment, Aussie dollar is looking juicy. So congratulations to whoever gets to play Mr. President next for the next 4 years. Don't stress over it. It doesn't matter. I hear people talking at my work about it this morning. I mean, am I just like that cold and unaffected by these things anymore that it just doesn't bother me? Perhaps. But it holds no sway over me and my opinions. I've watched the marketplace for too long now to have any person come in any position of any kind of power and make any substantial change. It doesn't matter to me, because this business model that is the marketplace has yet to change, and until it changes, nothing is going to change my opinion about it. Okay? You can put a new face on anything, but it's still going to be the same song and dance. You know, it might be a different band on stage, but it's still going to be the same kind of music playing, trying to distract you from what you need to do. And what you need to do is just focus on your craft and move up into the next level of this business. And I love everybody, and we will talk to everybody on the next video. Peace!